It's me, hooray! Look at that. Evening, how is everybody? Oh, Psycho, good evening. Blissful Badger, hello. Mal Winters, you gorgeous human being. How are we all? Is everyone good? Is everyone having a good week so far? I hope so. It's Blissful Badger in two places at once. My good God, man. That is enthusiasm and I do appreciate that. Totally here for it. Mike, over there on YouTube land, do you have a question? If so, just hold it in, let it brew, let it get really strong and gnarly, then drop it on me, my friend. How are you? Yeah, well, haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Tell me you've been having festive seasons. How is everybody? How are we doing? What's the latest with you all? Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good one. 2027 has been 2026, even a year in the future. Just wishing my universe away. I love it. Yeah, it's been hectic over here in Discord's land. We've been busy. Mostly good. Volume low. Volume is low. Hang on. How's that? And what? Hang on. What? But is that better? Do we have more volume? Are we back up again? I'm checking the volume. Is that better? Is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if I sometimes have an issue where my volume mixer has a complete moment and just dumps the sound on my mic for no apparent reason. No, that's fine. That should be okay. Hang on. Let's turn you up a little bit more. Is that better? There we go. Hopefully I'm now unbearably loud. It's all to do with you guys. You're all your own fault. We happy? I hope so. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, at least I didn't mute myself this time. Progress. So, 2026. That means it's good. You didn't hear me say that I thought it was 2027. Win. Absolute bonus. And let's go over here. Boof. It goes there. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Where are we? Perfectly loud. Much better. Shall I project from my chest like a Shakespearean thespian? Just really get it. Unbearable, yes. Loud, not really. I love you too, you glorious human being. Goodness me. Right. What's going on? Where are we? What's happening? This is all very good and exciting, I have to say. Oh, there's me. That's nice. Yeah, click that button. There we go. Yes, use more of your diaphragm or get extra. I don't need more diaphragms. I don't think you can get more diaphragms. There he is, 3 men in a shed. If you're not familiar with Neil, 3 men in a shed, you should absolutely, Neil, on YouTube, put in the chat a link to your video on the new systemy thing that you did with the Discord stuff. Please stick it on there. They're doing a whole like intro to the new stuff, and just whack it in there. Dry month. Well, in the UK, where in case you didn't know I'm from, people often do dry January. The idea being that you drink excessively through the Christmas season because that's the only way you can get away with your foul. Sorry, because you celebrate heavily, you drink too much. So you don't drink anything through January. And I always found it very funny because I knew people that had a real issue with it. They found it very, very difficult to get through January without a drink. And I was like, I can hang out with my friends perfectly well without alcohol. But some people really struggle with it. So it just amused me. So, yeah, dry January. I have just uploaded the 2nd episode. Why was that not in the Discord? Why was it not in the Discord? I'm very disappointed by the fact it was not in the Discord. So, I had a little accident today, slipped in the bathroom, and my wooden shoe flew off and landed in the toilet. Oh no, now it's clogged. I feel violated. Uterifson. Am I saying that right? Uterifson. That's a cool name. Yeah, that's the thing. It's genuinely people in the number of people that I have known who have in January discovered they have a drinking problem is quite alarming. You're just like you didn't realise beforehand, Poppet. Well, okay then. So Mal Winters is currently on a 10 stream streak. Mal, I love you and adore you. You fantastic human being. Has made 10 in a row. Round of applause. There you go. Outstanding. Thank you for being here. Lovely to have you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But yeah, and it has been at the start of this year. So, for those of you not in the know, today we were supposed to get all the announcements for Infinity about what's coming out. And on Friday, I think it was Friday, the content creators, people like me who do the video YouTubey stuff, got the list of the stuff from Corvus Belli of this is what's coming. But we can't say anything until they announce. We're under NDA. We're not allowed to be like, it's this. So we know what's coming. I've seen the full list. I swore vehemently. Anyway, it's a different matter entirely. When they're announced tomorrow, I will tell you all about it, and there'll be sadness and much wailing and gnashing of teeth. But. Oh! Hang on, everything's gone crazy. There we go, there's that button. Right, sorry, wrong buttons. Yes, Mel, you've done a very good thing. Thank you very much. So, yeah, it was supposed to come out, it's not come out. So we've seen it all and I know what's coming and I've had responses and I have views and I have opinions. I just can't tell you what they are. Tomorrow I can. We should get all the artwork and stuff and I can be like, ta-da! And then you guys will be like, and I'm like, ta-da! And you're like, and then I'll be like, ta-da! And you'll be like, oh. And it's that one that you're going to be like, oh, about that. I'm like, why? There will be a video. There may be grown man tears. Anyway. Blissful Badger, I have a drinking problem. I have all sorts in the house and barely drink. It's a good problem. Blissful Badger, I have some stunning whiskies in the house and they are to be savoured. They're not to be necked like it's a Friday night and I'm 18. So I'm with you, buddy. You are my spirit animal. I could never sign an NDA because I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut. There are times, there are definitely, what? Hang on. What? Hang on. Right. Euroblob, thank you for the bits on Twitch. That was very kind of you. I appreciate that greatly. On-screen celebration. Woo. Kaz, thank you for the... This, like, at the same time, people are screwing with my heads. Are you, Kaz, are you and Euroblob just synchronising on different systems so that I'm going to slowly lose my mind? Kaz, thank you for the super chat on YouTube. Tomorrow you lie. Definitely invading country vaguely to the east of me. Substantially to the east of you. We had a conversation where Kaz was not generally clear on where the Netherlands is, but that's fine. Neither was I till I lived here. So I kind of knew it was midway. And between Germany and France, don't ask. Anywho, but where specifically? Anyway, I know exactly where it is now. I can find it like 9 times out of 10 on a map. So that's good. All this crazy talk is making me thirsty. Off to get wine. Oh dear. Neil, bless you. All I want to hear is Antipode Riders. Yeah, no, you don't. No, you think you do. You think, Mike, you think you want Antipode Riders, but what you really want isn't Antipode Riders. Mid D&Ds won't be able to listen in just yet. What? Blob, I'm massively disappointed that prior to knowing this channel even existed, you booked D&D sessions that you still have on a Monday night. I'm just very disappointed by the whole thing, to be honest with you. Very sad. Very, very sad indeed. But yes, don't invade any countries. I think America's doing enough of that, Kaz. We're not going into politics. We're not doing that. But yes, don't invade any more countries. We don't need more countries invaded. Maybe less. Less countries invaded is good. Thank you for the bits. Those are my first bits ever, Blob. So thank you for that. It's very kind. It's very kind indeed. And I meant, Neil, I meant to post the first video in the chat on YouTube. You can whack it in there, buddy. It's absolutely fine. I have no issue with lifting all ships because I think the stuff you do is really nice. I think it's very interesting, and it definitely overlaps what we're doing, and they may, you know, let's not discuss America. I think the only thing to say about America, the thing that heartens me, is that so many people are really trying to resist. And more power to them, and I hope they succeed. Moving on. Uta, is it really an invasion if the whole thing was shorter than the Game of Infinity? I've known relationships shorter than the Game of Infinity, so, you know. Is that really a metric? You do have Warsenal. Warsenal is nice. Although pain in the bum to work with. Machine, I'm glad to know that you're on the way. I'm glad to know that you're going to shower, because I wasn't going to say anything, mate, but it's a bit overdue. So you crack on with that. And then the clog parade will be truly here. We don't need you, just before anyone gets in there, we don't need to be with Machine in the shower. He doesn't need us all there. He doesn't. Kaz, you're all good, man. You're all good. It's absolutely fine. I think at the end of the day, to an extent, everything is political because it's about the way we relate to each other, so it's all tied in, and I think ignoring it is a little bit... But that doesn't mean to say that I want to have a huge debate. So. Let's go back to Infinity. Yay! Yes. So again, we're delayed. Can't talk about it. It's going to be good when we can. I think there are certain people who will be very happy. There are certain people who'll be very... There'll be squeeze of excitement and then a realisation, a dawning of, hang on a sec, that means I need to spend some money. Damn it. And I can literally go through my gaming chats and name who's going to be the worst affected and who's going to be the best affected. Everyone's going to be happy. We can always lend Machine a hand. If you want to lend Machine a hand in the shower, Kaz, you crack on, sweetheart. That's what Only Dice is for. If you can't talk about what happened soon, let's talk about the past. Any old models you regret missing out on? No. I've been in since N2. The only one that I was vaguely... that I kind of vaguely wanted was the original Squallow. But I had a few opportunities to buy it just because it was so kitsch. It was just such a classic miniature. It was such a classic miniature, and I always wanted it, but I had a few times of like wanting to get my paws on it, and I always passed. So it was like, yeah, you know, when is the new OSD coming out? Don't know, haven't got that yet. Machine, no. The Seraph has got drama, it's got motion, it's really cool. It's a very, very funky miniature, just because you have no taste. Neil, you are most welcome. That's very kind. Thank you so very much. You can spam your channel. It's not spamming your channel. You're invited. You're welcome to. I think that I like what you do personally, and a lot of the stuff that I do, or everything I do on this channel, I do it because I like it. I try not to talk about anything, or I don't talk about anything that I myself wouldn't buy. I don't think I've ever done that. There's been times when I've been sent stuff for review and I haven't reviewed it because I was like, well, that's rubbish. But not for a reason that I could realistically say you shouldn't buy it, but more a personal choice. So the fact that I personally watch your stuff, it belongs to you. Mike, will you be happy? No. No, you won't. You will not be happy until the US convention season kicks off. April, March, April time, I think, is when you're going to be a happy bunny, is what I think. That's when you're going to have a little smile on your face, get bigger. Not going to go there. I've been nabbing quite a few 10+ year models that I always wanted to get off some obscure tangential sites like puzzle game focus sellers. What sort of things are you looking for? Because I may have some. If there's some that you don't have that you're looking for, let me know. Slabbyfoon, what were your favourite CB Infinity models of 2025? That was last year. That 2026 is now. I can't really tell you what my favourite ones this year. In gear, hello. I'm going to dive straight down to you because it's still the little... Every time I see that come up, there's only one individual who has the charisma, the panache, the pure quality, the like James Bond entrance ability of you in gear with your little live long and prosper. I love it. What are my favourite CB Infinity miniatures of 2025? That's a really good question. That is a very good question. That's a video idea. Thank you very much right there. Slim Typhoon. That's a cool name. I like that. Hang on. See, what I actually have, I can talk about now. So I, as I've said before, I worked for Corvus Belli for a while, not last year, but the year before. And part of that was I got sent a complete list of everything that was being released in 2025. So October the year before, October 2024, I had a full list of everything. How to slowly make someone go insane and twist their own ears off. She's like, oh, it's coming. I know it's coming. Oh my God, I know it's coming. Wasn't allowed to touch it. What are my favourite miniatures of the ones that came out last year? The drummers. Love those. I love the drummers. I think they're really, really cool. I don't think they're necessarily cool in game, but I think they're really freaking awesome. The way that they look, to be honest with you. That was very, very funky. What else we got? No, rubbish. No, rubbish. Most of the stuff, to a greater or lesser extent, that came out for JSA, for Shinden, was very, very cool. When we got our big sort of updates, our big box like the Tanuki, when they came out, they were freaking cool. The style of the Tanuki was, you know, when you see something, you're like, oh. And yeah, we were very happy with those. So I'm going through the list. Those are probably my happiest ones of last year. There were some that were okay, but those were really the ones that really blew my socks up. Anything when it comes to because I didn't like when the new stuff for Imperial Sovas came out. I was like, that's all right. It's not awful. The Vestrals were quite cool. For Ariadne, I enjoyed those. Definitely. They're very, very cool. For Warcry, it would be the War Rig and the Husks, because they were just like peak badass. Absolutely peak badass. Yeah, that'll do. There's your answer. Those. Loved them. They're very cool. And that, you notice that it didn't include Next Wave, because it doesn't. Should I? Anywho, if Neil's channel gets bigger, does it grow to 4 men in the shed? What about a half dozen? Kaz, you're not helping. You're not helping. Oh dear. Hey XS, good to see you, buddy. I need a spreadsheet of all Infinity models I owned and which sectorials they fit in. I have 6 playable, but maybe not a strong design list. 3 need a few more to have 300 points. Oof. Yeah, it's the risk. You got to try and stay focused with Infinity, especially when you're starting out. Just try and stick in a sectorial or a army, just to keep your sanity together. Because it's really easy just to snake off and end up with like, I mean, God, when I came into the system, I've told this story before, I know, but I sold my 5th edition Blood Angels, flipped them through to, if you know who Ian Wood is, IJW trader. I switched in for him, and rather than taking money, I took Infinity stock. So I ended up with Aleph, I ended up with Yu Qing, I think I ended up with some Nomads, and I ended up with the very beginning of Toha. I took all of those all in one lump. I didn't know what anything was. It was bedlam for months of like, total mess. So small focused is definitely the way forward in my opinion. Good old N2 and 3 was peak. Yeah. I see some and some. I think that so good old N2 and 3 was peak in terms of CB minis. The technical skill in the minis improved, but their design got worse over time, says Uter. Some and some not, and some, I don't know, they shifted from their kind of more excessive, exciting designs to being more generic. If you look, I think the best example for that for me is the Marut. it went from the bunny ears and the combat heels and the boobs and that ass to die for, and that kind of to more. I mean, yeah, you've still got combat heels, but it's more generic robot number 5. So it kind of lost a degree of that. You know, they calmed the hell down. So yeah, live long and prosper indeed, in gear. How have you been? Are you well? Yes, everyone. So 3 Men in a Shed Wargaming. It's a new wargaming channel. They've got some really interesting stuff, especially like your historicals and things like that. There's going to be some Infinity stuff I've been widely sort of suggested. Maybe some Eldfall stuff. I've heard that sort of tinkled on as well. If you like the sound of that, go and subscribe to the channel. Neil and the guys are a fantastic bunch of mammals, and they are definitely worth your time. So go subscribe, give them a validation and love them, and you know, they're great. Just do it. Just button love. Got to be done. Well, I guess I have to make some miniatures I'm missing. There are quite a few alike that you just can't find anymore. Asuka, yeah. You want to find Asuka. You know, I had one in my hand 6 months ago. They are out there. You just got nowhere to look. They are. So, yeah, figure out a list. I don't know. I don't think you're a member. You're not a member on YouTube. I don't think you're on Patreon. But find a list and drop it in next time. You'll like top 5 that you're looking for, and we'll see if we can help. Gentlemen, yes, validate my channel. Definitely. Psycho, today I was supposed to receive a huge dopamine hit with an absurd big order of bolt action coming in, but the Dutch Postal Service moved it to tomorrow at the same time. I'm at the dentist. I do hate that. Psycho, I hate that so much. I was waiting for 2 parcels as well. No big dopamine hit. I had like a present for a friend coming and some storage. And the present for the friend came, which was good from a timing perspective. Storage, because I got like miniatures that need to go in a box. So it is what it is. So I feel you, mate. And it's always the way. The thing is that Mrs. Hydra works for the postal service over here. So there's a limit to the amount that I can be like, because otherwise it's traitorous, you know. Keep the light on. So. Anyway. Always room for more in the studio. Focus may be the best for sanity, but not for finding great deals and adding to the collection. Yeah, no, I hear you, Blessful Badger. But that is how I have gone off. At one point, like, I had so much fun. I was buying up, like, dead stock from stores. I'd contact stores that were stocking Infinity, be like, do you have anything that just doesn't sell? Gimme. And I had literally boxes of the stuff, all for a great price. Anywho, we stopped that when we had several hundred blisters of unopened miniatures. That was like, I don't own a store. Robot number 5, please. The anime design made Infinity really stand out. Shame they lost that. But even if you like the grittier tone, all the modern poses are so static and boring. I agree. The exaggerated anime style was very much what differentiated them, and it was a curse and it was a blessing, and there were some things about it that were great and some things about it that weren't. The excessive sexualization wasn't always great, I'll be honest. In fact, it was rarely great. But yes, and some of the poses were too dramatic, but I think there's still drama in there. Still, I mean, there's drama in here. There's still drama in posing, you know? There is some. Not like it used to be, but yeah, not totally dead. Shop Hydra. What? Those. So, why are you shopping Hydra.com? If you want to shop my stuff, buy my merch. So we have a merch store. Where's the... Damn it. Hang on. I'd like to point out that this is entirely Mal's fault on Twitch. Because he was like talking about buying my stuff. So therefore, buy buy my shit. Technical term. I swore on stream. I'm a bad person. That's me. I'm not going to be monetized ever again. It's not like it's easy to repost metal models, so it's hard to fix stuff. No, I hear you on that one. It is not. So, Neil, I'm glad to hear that there will be infinity love. Yeah, I am fine, thanks. I hope everyone had a good start to into the new week. How are you? Hydra, I am okay. I am at the moment. There's so much going on. So we've got, we'll come back to that. Good, busy. We'll talk about busy in a minute. Bro, just casually dropping the infinity. Yeah, I had the Holy Grail in my hand like 6 months ago. Dude, you would not, the stuff that has gone through these pores over the recent years at various points. We're not going to talk about it. We're just not. I don't want to upset you. We're just not. Yeah. Ba-da-bum-bum. Mike Pierce, I can tell you some of the flops of 25. Beast Hunter with bow. Shinobu not being the one in the bottom. Oh, yeah, do you know, the thing that really upset me was the new Beast Hunter, the new Asian Persuasion Beast Hunter, not being in JSA. I don't get it. I do, because they wanted to do the other guys who are not Beast Hunters, but actually are worse Beast Hunters, but cheaper. I get it, but come on. Really? It's not good. It's not good. Little Stinker, hello. I love finding great deals on the miniatures. I'll spend $50 to save $30 on models that will get opened and assembled maybe a year. Yeah, no, that's perfectly legitimate. That is perfectly legitimate. I had full crews for Malifaux when it went to a new edition. And it was just like, oh, God, right, they're staying in there. I've got to deal with it at some point, but yeah, the Torchlight Jamie model. What the? I don't know. I don't know. That hot. That. Yeah. You'll find me that. Good, Mel. I'm glad. Don't worry. Stand behind me, Colonel Winters. Also, sure, there are some setbacks with Infinity. At least it's not as bad as Trench Crusade. My mate's minis finally came in. Most of the models had defects and trap resin. Trap resin is biological time bomb. Yeah, no, I was I was watching some of the stuff that's some of the videos out there that are talking about the mess that has become Trench Crusade, which is a real shame. It sounds like the company started off really well and then just got their head surgically inserted up their butt, which is not good. It's not where your head belongs, especially not in a wargaming environment. It's just not good. I disagree on the sexualization. I mean, we're all out here. It's literally just another form of expressiveness. See, I would agree with you. I never... The sexualization side of things, for me, I accepted it as part of the aesthetic when I came into the system. What gave me an issue with it was when I was in a gaming store and we grew our community exploded. So 24 to 30 players a week was kind of standard. That's where we were, and we just grew. And I started getting dads bringing in their 15, 16-year-old daughters, and they would look at the range and they'd come across certain miniatures, the Dactari, the Scottish Highlander, not the Scottish Highlander, the Scottish one with the short skirt and the grenade launcher, and you'd see them just get the ick from it. And it was like, is an aesthetic worth making a potential player feel uncomfortable? And for me, it wasn't. I want more people to play and feel comfortable than I do being true to an aesthetic for the, you know, that's my view. My view on that one. That said, Infinity Miniatures are still in the upper echelon miniatures. They are just not as good as they could be. And that is sad. No, I go with that. At the risk of bumping against your NDA, do you think we get a Sasha released outside the ATS season, or do you think it's really just a seasonal thing? I think we're going to get another Sasha at some point or another, but I don't know when. We tend to get this kind of stuff. So we've had like miniatures that have been exclusive inside the ITS set, and then they've been re-released later as a standard edition. Several ones, so we will. But speaking of Paul, still searching for a Ouija pilot. If someone has one to spare, there we go. We're just popping out all the kidneys tonight. I adore it. From what I understood, the problem comes from the company they got to print outside the physical minis. The actual STLs seem to work fine. Mal, there were some issues. I was watching a thing about it, and there were some issues with some of the support and the design work that was done with the STLs as well. There were some issues, but horses for courses. The robot Warcorp is still a good-looking model, but in a way, the concept of just bringing out a journalist to the field is an odd. Hang on, yeah, the new Warcore is a bit. I was a bit meh with that one, to be honest with you. I have zero issues with less sexy models, but when you have a model that uses plasma rifle as a primary weapon on all profiles, and that weapon is on a hip while she's holding a weapon not on her profile. Yeah, no, sometimes excess, sometimes some of the poses I'm just like, the most egregious for me remains, oh god, that's going to annoy me, hang on, this button here, it is one of Corregidor's dudes, and I've lost the name of it, and that's going to annoy me no end. Where are you? Lobos. There is a Lobo miniature which is just the dumbest design ever, in my opinion. He's holding out like a very thin baton, and it extends. It doesn't matter where you put him on the base, it extends out over the base. It took me years, I've been looking after that thing, and it just snapped off. It's gone now. I have no idea where it is. There's no way of keeping that without it breaking. I'm like, come on, guys. Yeah, the SLs had resin traps, even though they're fixed miniatures, still have a bunch of resin traps. Uncured resin, yeah, exactly. There are issues there, Psycho, very much so. CB is not near where they were when they were releasing armies like Tunguska or Shock Army. Ball truck is absolutely the worst. Nothing comes close. The baby carrier, you don't like the baby carrier? It's cute. We'll go back over here. Ruby Monday is Sancha. Could always use her, I suppose. Volunteer, that was the one. Thank you very much. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I'm German, and I think you'd be shocked how young women run around here if you're bothered by the volunteer. It's not a question, it's not a question. It's not a cultural thing or a shocked thing. I think it was just wargaming is very, very male dominated, and in a lot of environments, it's quite hard to get into if you're female, because you get looked at like you've got 5 heads if you go into a wargaming space, because you've got the wrong thing in your pants, basically. Having to go up against that, while also having to see stuff that maybe portrays you in a way that you're uncomfortable with in that environment, surrounded by those people, is a barrier to entry. And for a lot of people, especially for younger people, and the thing is, it would be good to have a continual growth of the system into younger people, and that's hard enough as it is, with all the competition that we have and the stigma that's around the system and the way that people talk about their own hobby a lot of the time. It's another problem. It's another challenge. So, Saoirse. I can believe that Saoirse did. She is very good in some ways. So, yeah. Also, can you explain to me the most essential lore question? What is a combi rifle? Well, it's a rifle. Now, if you look, well, you can't see it because of the way they hold it, but at the back, it's got a bottle opener. So it's a combi rifle and bottle opener. That's it. That's the tweet right there. I'd love to make it more complicated, but that's it. I hate poses as well, yes. I grabbed the Nomad Action Pack used and then received and realised it was the N3 set instead of N5. Ouch. At least it will add to the future purchases. There's some good stuff in the N3 stuff. It's pretty. which is funny. Yeah. So, and the most reasonable explanation can only be explained by being written by non-gun guys in the early 2000s. Yeah, I just there's certain bits of lore inside, or certain bits of facts and stuff inside of CB that I'm just, it's sci-fi, goes Bert. I don't know. I don't worry about it too much. I try not to worry about it too much because a lot of things fall apart. If history is correct, sculptors across various games were doing pin-up style minis. CB Night models modify. No, I agree with you. Like it was not an exclusive issue inside of Infinity, and I on the surface, like I said, I don't have an issue with it. I don't think I own any of those miniatures because they didn't interest me. There was nothing really that I was like, ooh, about in any way, shape or form. But it was all over the place and that was fine. You could choose not to get involved with it. It was just really hard to be in a situation where you saw people that wanted to get involved and then felt uncomfortable. So here's an actual concern I had with the development of Infinity this year and interested in your take. Do you feel that the factions are losing their identity outside of aesthetics? Yes. Yes. There are a couple of things that I really want to watch closely this year with Corvus Belli. Some stuff I'm not going to talk about at this point for various reasons. But I do feel that like Ariadne's lost its flavour. As soon as we were capped at 15 miniatures, Ariadne became a variant of everything else, which was a shame because it used to be the thing that you took and you just spammed. It was just, there's going to be a lot of us, so we're going to die really easily. That was the whole thing. Like, we're going to shoot at you and we might hit once, but we're a bit rubbish, so we might not hit at all. That was the whole concept. And I loved it. It was great. It was so much fun. But now they're kind of, because they've been, it's like the Metros. The Metros for Merivision used to be BS10 because they couldn't shoot. Now they're being limited a bit more, so they're BS11, which makes them as good as certain Nomad troopers and things like that. That was not what anyway, it's not what they used to be. So the more they balance and expand, the more homogenized everything is feeling. I don't think it's to do with necessarily balance. I think it's adding stuff in. They're adding more stuff in. And as they add more stuff in, you just get like, I've talked about the epidemic of and there's been a lot of and going on. And when you end up with more skills getting dumped into a single profile, there's only, yeah, you just get a homogenized flavour. So, Mal, what are you saying, buddy? I haven't yeah. Still talking about our friends at Trench Crusade. You haven't had the issue. Big drain holes in his undercarriage that works. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard, Mal, I've heard that there are issues with resin traps and stuff inside the miniatures by design, and they went back and fixed them, but they didn't do all of them, and they persist and all this kind of stuff, which is a shame. I hope they get it sorted. Stuff breaking off is horrendous with metal, and it's usually stuff you can barely glue. My Saladin lost some fingers. Oh, dude. Oh, no. Joan V2 lost a pommel. Dude. I'm in physical pain for you on that front. That's horrible. I always bring the wrong dice in my pants pockets. D6 when I should have D20s. That overboard is a very interesting issue to have, my friend. That is definitely an interesting issue. There's a built-in kazoo in the foregrip of the combi rifle too. You heard about that too? It's supposed to be a secret. Not supposed to tell everyone, Neil. Science is magic, little stinker. Every day. I'm not going to bog down the discussion on sexualization further, but I've been on the opposite side of that as a guy in women-dominated fields, and my stance is that you shouldn't change your hobby. I hear you, and dude, I'm not... Everyone, like you said, everyone's adults and everyone's entitled to their opinion. My goal with wargaming has always been to
get more people involved. I think this is a fantastic hobby. There is so much to learn. There are so many interesting people here. There is so much to do. I think that by comparison to many other like hobbies that you could take up, there's a lot to be said for wargaming, and I want more people to do it. I want it to be more mainstream. I want it to be more acceptable. And so there are things that I look at and I find a barrier to that being the case, and it's kind of, well, how much do we lose if the boob armor goes up a bit? How much of an issue is it if the combat skirt is something that you could wear to dinner with your parents? And for me, it's not that much. If it is for you, no judgment, dude. It's an aesthetic. It's a flavour. It's a choice. So that's cool. But for me, I want to see more people playing. I want to have more people involved. And I see that as a potential barrier. So all good, buddy. You are no problems with that whatsoever. Talking about losing identity, different armies should have different trooper limits, yes or no? Could the LT special skill be the LT special skill like Strategos? So Hack could go back to being a swarm army with 20 models, for example, similar to how they felt in N2. Of course, that'd be an entire rewrite of the balance again. It's a fun thought experiment for the future. It would be nice. It would be nice if we had, if there were different unit or limits on the number of troopers you could have inside of Infinity based on the armor that you took. But because we already have that to an extent, we have that with fire teams. You know, there are limitations. Different armies have different compositions of fire teams. There is nothing to say that we couldn't have different limitations on trooper volumes by army, and I think that would be interesting. That would be, to me, really fun and really cool. Lara Beard, hello! More players, more community, more fun times. This is the way. Yeah, I have a Phoenix Blade for that psycho. He looks at stuff, he knows what it is, and I often get messages where he's like, well, you should do this. Cool, can you do it and print it for me, bud? And then he does, and it's great. Everyone needs a tame, trained printer that knows what they're doing. It just makes life easier. Yeah. The fingers and pommel can at least be put down to battle damage. The true pain comes from the accidental clipping a detail you thought, oh, don't. We've all done that. And normally done that after the event when you're like, okay, I've stuck it together, and then you're painting it like, where's the, oh, come on. Comlink still gives the trooper bonus. The trooper bonus only goes into the reinforcements battle group, so yeah. Are you going to have a 3D printed clogged dice holders in your store? Dear Lord, man. There will be stuff. You're obsessed. I should change it to only clogs. Infinity in itself already has a high barrier to entry because you have to get a certain level of rules before you get into the interesting decisions. That's it. And Uta, that's exactly why this channel exists in the first place, because I spent a long time teaching people to play. And the more that I looked online about other people teaching people how to play, it was just like, well, that's dumb and doesn't work. Just that arrogant. So that's why this channel exists, because my wife was kind of like, can you just please do it yourself? Yes, dear. So if I wore a combat skirt to dinner with my parents, I'd have more questions to ask than if it was just too short. Would you, Cass? Are you sure? Are you? I'm not. 3 more subs to make Hydra smile. If you have a Prime, use it. Thank you very much. That would make me happy. That's a point. If you are on the tubes of you and you do have a Twitch account, and especially if you have a Amazon Prime account, could you please prop over to Twitch and both watch on there and just like mute me on there? You don't need me in stereo. It's great, but you don't need that much of me. But also, if you could use your Prime sub to sub on there, that would really, really help me immensely, and I'd appreciate it greatly. So it costs you nothing if you have a Prime subscription on Amazon, because it's free and stuff was part of it. So very good reminder. Thank you, Psycho. I appreciate that. I know you have, Mal. You're you're always here and you're always subbed, and I appreciate it hugely. On YouTube, I know. There is actually someone who I shan't mention who is subscribed on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Patreon, which I'm just like, I'm not sure I'm that good, but cheers. I'm tempted to do more with TikTok just to see if they do that too. I don't know. Anyway. Maybe different troop accounts could be explored with a new narrative campaign. Nuclear Kid, hello. What up, Fives? A 10 has entered the chat. Have they nuclear? Where? Thank you for the email. Appreciated that. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Excuse me. Foster, good morning. And a happy new year to you too, buddy. You lucky duck. I was first. Yes, you were. Psycho, you were my first subscriber over on the Twitch. It was amazing. And I appreciate it immensely. You're a legend. The more the merrier, this is the way. Woo! Right. Good. Super. What's going on? So what are we doing? How are we doing tonight? My good God. Every time I do the streamy streams, I get more. It's nice. I very much appreciate it. It's all very exciting, I have to say. And don't forget that if you do like listening to me talk complete rubbish, but you prefer just to see me puds these while I paint stuff, then I do paint stuff on a Thursday afternoon. So we actually finished, in fact. I couldn't quite wait, and I also wanted to experiment a little bit. So I actually finished. I've been working on some Elfthorpe stuff. I've been working on a Kitsune, which is who this is, and she's now finished. She's now completely done. I kind of went with green for the magic. I might, or the flame, sorry. I might push that a little bit more. Did it focus your damn thing? But she's looking all right. I'm kind of happy with it. It works well. And today I actually started on the governor, the boss, the Dalai Lama of all of it. So this is the clan champion. He's just starting to get blocked in. So that will be on the streamy stream this week. Because when that's done, when he's done, I'll only have technically, I only have 3 miniatures left. So I'll be halfway through my entire Soga army. But I've got another miniature coming, and then another starter box. Yeah, I need another starter box. You had to be there. I've got some dirty lists coming up, so it's all good. So then I have to do that. So I'm going to end up with even more. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I'm currently making some Giga S bases for Deathwatch Kill Team. Wrote my word count for the day, so I'm having... What is your word count for the day, Nuclear? How much do you have to do in a day? I wonder what alternative game types Infinity could work with. Imagine making a zombie horde mode or something. There was one around for Kaz. There was one around, a zombie type thing, a while back, many years ago. No, you do. That's interesting. I'm in 18 days-ish. No, less than. Yeah, 18 days. 19 days. Around then, I'm kicking off a narrative campaign for local players. And yeah, that's going to be a different way to play. I think I've got teams of 2. And I think we're going to end up with 8 or 9 teams of 2 running through a narrative campaign that I've drafted, and there's events and moments and stuff and things, and it's going to be really very cool. So I painted a Kitsune warband for Bushido over the last couple of weeks. Cuts little fox. I mean, it's not my aesthetic. The little fox thing, the little ears and the big tail. It's not my thing, but kind of I liked her. I'm liking painting all these Elfthorpe miniatures. They're really working. It's a nice break from Infinity, so yeah. Plus I need to get them done for videos, so my life is tough. What can I say? Come to think of it, one could be something like based on XCOM 2 zombie hordes. You could build one like that. Definitely could build one. 2K words. It's my own weird project though, so it'll probably slip a fair bit. That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar, I have to say. When I finished, so I've got one book that needs editing, and when I finished that, I had a target of 1K a day, and I was doing 3 or 4 because it just worked. It was just flowing. I tried to keep it to a day. It didn't work. Has anyone in chat played Manhunt? A lot of the guys in my community did. I don't know if any of them are in here at the moment, but a whole bunch of the local guys did. They ran through it, and they had a lot of fun with it. And they said it was very good. So much enjoyment was had. from what I heard. Lots of narrative stuff. I didn't get involved because I make hits, not the public. I tell the DJ what to play. I'm not even going to drop the understand on the back end of that. But yeah, it was supposed to be very good. I didn't have time to get involved, unfortunately. And from what I understand, there were a couple of issues, but nothing really major at all. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of happy locals that were getting stuck in, so who knows? Who knows? I think with the way that my my system's going to work a little bit different to that. It's really what I'm hoping to do. If I can make it work, because there's a, you know, if you have this when you decide you're going to do something, and I've weaved in bits from Campaign Paradiso and N2, I've taken elements of that, some elements of other systems, and kind of mixed it all together in a big pot and created my own stuff and chucked some stuff on top of that. And you're like, in theory, this should work, but you know, as soon as you put it in contact with other players, it doth not work. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Just decided to die at you. Professional at all times, what can I say? What happens if I don't, no, I can't do that. That won't work. Not sure what could be better zombie standards, something from Combined Army or Yuching sending some poor Kangxi into Heroic Sacrifice. Yeah, that. The Hungries from Combined would do it. You know, your Gakis and your Pretas, they would do it, definitely. I think. Or you could just take an awful lot of Tohar Symbio Mates and Symbio Bombs and chuck those in. Just have a big old Pokemon slaughter. Works for me. Definitely works for me. Where's the thing? By the way, am I blind or has no one created music for Infinity yet? I don't think so. I've not really seen any. It's a weird thing, but I mean, synthwave. It's just gonna be a shed load of synthwave or really, really heavy metal, because that seems to be where the community sort of dives through the middle of. Tiger Creatures, good call, Nuclear. Tiger Creatures. I always forget about them. I haven't played Combined while they've been involved, so. For those who didn't see it as well, I have a Shock Army project going. So that is all in process at the moment. And I've started doing the test miniatures over the past week or so, which has been really good fun. I have very much enjoyed that. And decided to do a test base this week as well, because I could. So that's in process now. I think that's looking okay. So we're going for that kind of destroyed city in the middle of a jungle. So it's kind of been reclaimed by nature after the third offensive. I think I need to just turn it up a little bit. I think it's a bit muted, but I'm tempted to keep it muted because then when the miniature goes on top, if I make the miniature really go bang, it will sort of accentuate that rather than taking it away. But I think that looks quite cool. I think it looks pretty good for a first attempt. I had one of those absolute genius moments where you order a product, you get the product in, you're like, this is exactly what I need. I'm really, really happy with this. It'll go with the rest of my acrylic products, and then you actually open it up and it's enamel, and you're like, oh, God, I need it now. I'm committed. So, music for bot action is super easy. You're quite right. It is very easy. The amount of times I'm humming Ghost Division. I can believe it, dude. I can believe it. Antipodes, yeah, that would be another option. That would absolutely be another option. They would work well. Where's my thing? Why is that not working? Doof. There we go. Goodness me. I'm using video game soundtracks for sci-fi cyberpunk games like Deus Ex. Deus Ex is always a good call. That really works well. So using synthwave, yeah, the synthwave stuff can kind of work as long as it's not too, you know, I can only play bass, but I've heard some 40k AI songs, and I'm wondering how the community would feel about something like that. After all, it would be straight from LF. For myself, anything that involves generative AI, I'm out. It's horrible stuff. No, it gives me the ick. But I know a lot of people don't have an issue with it, so there we go. Tiger Song zombies are the first thing I thought of with zombies as well, but no one has enough of those, at least generally. No, and with good reason, to be honest with you. I do lots of sci-fi anime soundtracks, Ghost in the Shell and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed, Mal. No thank you to the AI slop. Gross. Yes. We shall see where that goes. But there's some cool soundtracks out there. But it depends what you want to, what sort of feel you're going for with it. You kind of have to dive into stuff like, oh, hang on. I find that Two Steps from Hell, Thomas Bergerson, a lot of his stuff, really, really useful if you just want to go for kind of cinematic soundtrack. He's got some really interesting themed stuff. It's all very orchestral and grand. So yeah, Two Steps from Hell. I'd recommend checking them out if you're looking for soundtrack for stuff. Gizmo's great too. And also created Appleseed, which is also an inspiration for Infinity, but while the music of it is also great, it doesn't fit Infinity in your opinion. Yeah, no, I get that. But it's also what your idea of Infinity is and what you're aiming for it. If I was doing stuff for the background of a gaming experience, then I would definitely go for something like Two Steps from Hell. Something like that, really quite grandiose, quite impressive, because I like that kind of the stuff that reaches into your soul and inspires you, you know? If I'm going to do violence, I'm going to do inspired violence. I think that's just the only way to do it. That's all I can say. Mind in a Box, mind.in.a.box has an amazing concept album fitting Infinity. Larkbeard, you just went on the list. Mind in a Box. Stick that on there. I should check that out, and if it's rubbish, I should blame you personally. Probably isn't rubbish, but it sounded good. I've heard enough Two Steps from Hell for 20 lifetimes they're way overplayed. I guess it depends where you're from. I'm the only person that I know that listens to it, so, you know. Lots of Hans Zimmer vibes from Two Steps from Hell. Yeah, very much so. It's that kind of cinematic orchestral stuff that I like to use. It's generic enough that you can bring your own tail to it, while awesome enough that, you know, it just works. So that's just my view. That is just my view. I've realised that I've just screwed up and not set up something that I should have set up. I have enjoyed the fact that I've been talking about some of the new releases for Infinity today, and there's a few people who have been given hints but didn't get the hints. It's always fun. They'll kick themselves tomorrow. Not today. Two Steps from Hell hits different when you're driving to your in-laws. Yes, it does, Psycho. Blade Runner soundtrack, good call, Mike. Hans is always an option. Lost in Las Vegas on loop while writing. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It depends on what I'm writing as to what I stick on. Little Badger. When I was going through my epic trailer music phase, I prefer X-Ray Dog over Two Steps from Hell, to be honest. Yeah, fair enough. Epic trailer music phase. Bravo. Everyone should have one of those. You're not smart enough for hints, just tell you. Okay. So that's that, really. I hope that helps. Almost missed you again. Hello, Remy. I know, in gear, I was being humorous. Also, Nimad Sheer kill energy from Inari Moonstar. Watch the video. Noted. Noted, noted, noted. No magic. Okay. Anaria Moonstar. Monstar. Cool. Oh my god, such a brave statement. Cancelled for sure after that. Right. Always. It's only a matter of time. Every god is cancelled in the end. You exist long enough for your flock to lose faith and drive you into insignificance. Although I think as long as there is wargamers, there will be dice gods. It's just a thing. Funny enough, for some odd reason, my YouTube recommendations have the Crisis 2 soundtrack from Zimmer on it, despite me not having thought about it for like 15 years. Yeah, YouTube and social media recommendations are creepy as all at the moment. Yeah, YouTube are doing weird stuff. Bro's going to get whiplash from the change of genres. You'd be amazed what I listen to on any given day. LARP, you would be amazed. I am funny, Kaz. I am a very funny individual. Dude, before you can find me, you've got to find the country. You've got to find the continent. Best of luck. Jing Dean, the man, the legend, the glorious monster that is, the one, the only Gene Dean, ladies and gentlemen, joining us live and exclusive on YouTube. I still think your username should be Gene Dean 69. It always will be in my head. But 29 is fine too. I'll let you have that one. Just this once. My goodness. Right. Are we doing? Algo is the bane of our times. But what does it do? Oh, the stuff. It all, as a viewer, the algorithms that are out there suck. As a creator, YouTube person, but I do stuff on the internet, they suck. It's quite amazing. It's impacted me, but as you talk to other people, it's impacted them even more. And you see some people that have just. Although some of it's good. I was in a group the other day and a whole bunch of people that produce AI slop on shorts. There was one guy who was saying that he was doing like 1.2 million views and it went to 0. You're like, oh no, poor you. Never mind. But then he was like, yeah, you know, this is one of my 15 channels. Yeah. Don't worry, Kaz, the planes will get you there. Well, they will if he knows where he's looking for. American schools might suck, but we do have GPS. I can follow that. You're going to get wet feet if you try and drive all the way to Europe from there, Kaz. But best of luck. Where does this man's accent come from? I don't even know anymore. I go back to the UK and my UK accent's been completely screwed over by living in the Netherlands for so long. You're smart enough to not show your window on stream. It's easy to geolocate a streamer that way. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, God. And like, there's certain images that I've considered sharing that I've just been like, nope, can't do that. Brilliant. Can't ignore the algorithm since 90% of my YouTube is hobby related, but actually watched a hobby video that hit me in the feels earlier. So there's still occasionally real stuff. There is. You're right, Kes. There is the odd stuff, the odd thing, bit and piece out there. That, you know. I just love to mess with people. The first time I have to give them a ride, I have a special playlist. It goes from Tom McDonald rap to Savation, historical metal, Vivaldi. Yeah, you just completely screw with people's heads and just run it all through. It's genius. Why though? Because it's not another tool. I disagree with you fundamentally on that one. I'm going to disagree with you. Generative AI uses the work of other people to vomit out other stuff. It doesn't understand what it's doing. It's a word guessing machine. It's an image guessing machine, and it uses the experience and knowledge of other people to do that. It doesn't credit them. They don't get paid for it. It's only exists to make large corporates lots of money. It's failing, but that's the idea behind it. And, you know, one of the driving things behind this, when you look at a lot of multimillionaires, is they're talking about putting people out of work. That doesn't seem nice. It's pretty bad for the environment. It causes all sorts of issues with energy infrastructure and water infrastructure, and it's generally just a nasty, nasty thing that people who have more money than we'll ever concept of owning want us to buy into, so they can make more money. No, that doesn't work with me. I don't like that. It's just ugh. No, thank you. Oh, the one about the kid. I saw that come up about Squidmar, and he wanted to do the thing with the kid, and I saw that, and I was like, no, thank you. Windows. The mini painters are subterranean, no windows, only roots. I'm not a mini painter. I paint on stream. Part of the reason I paint on stream is because it's kind of like, look, not everyone is amazing. I do kind of a tabletop standard, and I'm happy with that, and that's fine. It's as far as I need to go. You know? Well, we do have small holes to shoot our emotional support K98s. Yeah, K98Ks from, yes. No comment, Psycho. I'm not going any further than that. I'm scared it will take my job. I don't think it will, Nuclear, because it doesn't... The problem is there are people who want it to take your job, but I don't think it will. Because when you look at how the word guessing machine works, it lacks certain things, and it's... Anyway, it's not like it copies another people. It's learned... It hasn't learned anything. That's the thing. That's the fundamental misunderstanding. AI doesn't understand. Right, generative AI doesn't understand a thing. It's a word guessing machine. It is using things it's seen before to smush together. It's using other people's ideas and creating slop, when's the term, and vomiting it out. And it degenerates over time because it's now using, this is something that's begun to become apparent in recent generations, is that it's deteriorating in quality because it is using its own slop to feed itself, which is making it worse. And it's just bad. Certainly taking the wrong route. Couldn't agree with your feelings more. Thank you, Frosty. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to... If it's like all kind of feels on it, but off the environment, like the computer you're using now, like the miniatures you were talking about. No, Ute, not like the computer that I'm using now. Not like, and just because these are bad doesn't mean to say that okay, something worse. There's an area in the UK around the M4 where they need housing. Okay, it's in the commuter belt for London. But there is an issue because there's been some data centres built there, which means that the energy infrastructure can't handle housing for people because of AI data centres. That's the only thing that they're for. They're only for AI. How does that make sense? So that we can generate a singing kitten video. How is that remotely wise? We're in a point where they're using vast amounts of energy to produce stuff that they're hoping will put people out of work. I don't get it. I'll never get it. Just sounds like we went through all the scary moment clickbait about AI. No, not at all. Not at all. I found when AI, the concept of generative AI first came into the arena, it sounded really interesting. The concept of people being able to access and democratize certain things. And God, I'm producing stuff on YouTube. Do you know the idea of being able to go, right, so what I want to hear is I want to animate this particular thing. I want to show people this battle, you know? The idea of being able to, I'm a writer, I write fiction, being able to take that and get a computer to voice it and not, you know, just instantly. Amazing. How cool would that be? How useful would that be? But you've got to really dig deeper into it. You've got to look at the wider implications of the cat video you're making. And it's a choice. It's a choice. If you want to do it, again, it's up to you. All adults. But I think that, you know, when you look at... I could rant on this for quite some time. I'm going to try not to because this isn't really hobby related. But I think when you look at the financial, environmental, social issues that this technology is in the process of causing, for the benefit that it gives, which is predominantly it's going to let multi-millionaires and billionaires make more money. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. You know, God, they were talking about the fact that Disney's going to let people use generative AI to make cartoons of their characters and then post that onto Disney Plus. I don't pay my Disney Plus subscription to see what little Timmy thinks that Minnie Mouse should do. I've just... AI is like a mirror, it gives you back what you put into it. No, AI is a mirror of other people, other people's work. It gives back to you what other people have done. As someone who relies on AI for some things at work, it's not always about putting people out of work. Sometimes we just need that insane computing power to automate processes. That is what it's for, Kaz. That is what it's for. I was so excited when they were talking about folding proteins with AI and the process, the advances that was going to bring to development in certain sectors of science and the benefits that could bring to humanity, because we can find new drugs by folding proteins, essentially. So if they can fold proteins really damn quickly, we can find new drugs really damn quickly, and that is a really damn good thing. That kind of algorithmic process, that kind of concept, I'm here for it. That is absolutely what... But then we're not talking about AI per se, we're talking about algorithms to automate processes. And yeah, if you could do that, absolutely. That is just making the world a better place. Here for it. Totally. It can easily pull together different obscure fields and find connections humans can't. Agree with you, it can. It can also lie and be wrong. And frequently is. And they don't know why. I don't think that you can trust things. You need to validate what AI is doing. I mean, you need to look at the fact that 95% of the businesses that have implemented AI have seen zero increase in productivity and zero return on investment. 95% of people that are using this, it's not doing anything good. It's not helping. It's a weird thing. I do agree though, using it for videos, deepfakes are replacing human work. That's where the line should be drawn. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, off the AI topic, I can't wait to paint some L4 this year and watch some L4 videos. Well, Frosty, it's funny you should mention that, because tomorrow, the very first of the Arcanum, so named after a certain Neil suggested it, will be dropping into the wild. Finally. I'm so glad that video is done. I cannot wait to get it out into the world, just so it's done. And it's like, I think it's like 8-9 minutes of L4 goodness. It's you'll see. It's a great little video. It's fine. But, dear Lord, did that take some work. It really shouldn't have done, but it really did. It's a very slippery slope in the creative sphere that AI is spell check is not. I wish my students use spell check. Gene Dean, I hear you. Absolutely. Yeah. It's interesting when you look at what impact it's having beyond. So anyway, protein folding reminds me of similar concerns back when it became mainstream on the PS3, where people had similar environmental worries about it as you have about AI in general now. No. No one was not building houses because of PS3 farms. It's a different beast, and I think that when you look at the broader conversation from people who are not AI evangelists, when the midline is saying that it's a bad thing, and you've got the people who are anti-AI who's it's going to explode the world in 15 minutes, there's always somebody who's out there going, my God, the universe is going to end and it's going to be this one piece of technology. Sure, pop it. You get extremes on both sides, but I think the midline is very damning of AI at the moment, and I think that speaks volumes. Anyway, I'm done with the AI topic. I shall rant no further. Let's go. I know the AI, the L4 stuff is so good at the moment. So, off air, did you know that Star Wars Legion also has a measuring system based on 8s, range bands and movement? So, Kazima Poppet. As I said to you the other day, I had my starter box in the basket. And then I looked around this office and I realised that those guys there and these guys, those guys over there, they don't have storage. And I had a bit of a word with myself. And I was like, you know what? What you need to do is buy some storage. You don't need more miniatures when your current miniatures don't have a home. So we had to order storage instead, and it was very disappointing. It was not exactly what I wanted to do, but it was there and we did it, and so it was fine. So that should turn up soon. And it will be great. It will be glorious. But yeah, I can't wait to start Star Wars Legion. And actually, I have been in contact with the guys that make it. We're having a chat, and maybe we'll see if we can do something. So maybe there'll actually be some sanctioned content videos for Legion coming out on the channel, which would be really awesome. I would enjoy that immensely. Is there any news on that promised Infinity anime? I've got the limited edition miniature in the other room. I've got that. But no, there isn't. I haven't heard anything. It was all ... question mark ... Storage video coming up. I did it, the box that I ordered, or the bag that I ordered, I did a review of a little while ago, so I don't think I can get away with doing another one. Well, we do have some. The M4 in London, isn't that the biggest parking lot in Europe? Well, yeah, but that's why they need housing. Look at the RAM prices. Agreed, Lartbeard. It doesn't lie. It has no consciousness. It's a parrot yelling back things it said. Yeah, well, there are ghosts inside of it where it puts out information it wasn't given, and it's provably inaccurate. That it hasn't seemed to have got from any. It's a whole thing that's really intriguing to read because they don't understand why, which I just love that. It's like, we made a thing. We don't know how it works. Poke, poke. Anyway. This is the path of emerging tech. Abuse it for all the worst ideas and test those limits, then reel it back for the good works. I hope so, Mike. Yeah, I do hope so. I very much do. I like storage videos. I like me. Yeah, storage videos are cool, but they don't really do anything. That's the problem. You put videos out and people don't want to watch videos on bags. And much as I love doing it, because I think it's important to have it out there, so I like to have like one a year where I put one out, because we're focusing on the new players. We want the new players involved. There's a limit. Although there may be there was somebody talking today. There was somebody talking today about, on Discord, Remy was talking about the wonderful thing that he's printed for storage that I'm very intrigued in. A Florida man with a genius idea. Neil, thank you very much. That's very kind. Just cleaned and organised my desk. I did that the other day. I did that yesterday. So look at this. That is unfreaking heard of. It's just, and those miniatures are actually organised by system as well. I don't even know myself. It was amazing, honestly. I needed a bit of a lie down afterwards, and Mrs. Hydra was incredibly happy. So, now I'm curious, how many miniatures do you think you own? Oh God. More than is reasonable, less than I'd want. For bolt action, no, see, I cut my bolt action in half because I sold my British Army because I was not gonna paint it or play it in the next 18 months. So it went, but I think my German army it's only about 150 miniatures. So that's just bolt action. Infinity, we're currently back to probably 200-ish, maybe 150. Less because I want to sell my Invincible Army. I want to get rid of that because I'm just using them for demos. So I've got a huge Invincible Army that needs to go. That needs a new home. So I need to get photos and stick it out in the world. So that will cut the numbers, but I don't know, less than 500, I guess, ish. Just got some storage trays for a mate of mine this week. Trays to make 4 nanometer magnets that fit into 4 litre really useful boxes. I should magnetise, but I don't. Why a lava lamp? That's a really good question. So, why a lava lamp? There are a couple of reasons. One, I wanted something that had a bit of motion in it. I wanted something that was orange because the colour of the walls and the little alien and then the little thing over here, this was all orange. And there was some other stuff that I want to stick up that's orange as well. So I wanted that kind of colour, and I wanted something with a little bit of movement. And I used to own, when I was a lot younger, I used to own a lava lamp. And I like them. I find them very relaxing and very therapeutic to watch. So I just decided to stick it on there. A lot of people have like those LED uplighters, and they're cool. But I just wanted something that was a little bit more, made me happy, and I'd be happy to use when I wasn't on stream. So that's why the lava lamp, because I'm old as... Anyway. I just recently downloaded the app Brush Rage, and cataloguing the number of paints I have made me sit down for a minute. So when it comes to paints, hang on, let's do this properly. So this set here isn't full at the moment, but that's because there's some in this box here. But down here, there is a drawer with another, no, there's another 3 drawers with paints in it. Now some of that is working on a particular project and being like, oh no, I'm nearly out of that paint. I need to order these ones, so I'll get another one of those, and then doing that repeatedly. So, you know, there's a few spares, but some of that is just happy wife, happy life. Yeah, I like my wife. I like her being happy. It makes me happy. So, would asking about the pile of shame the proper equivalent? Ute, I didn't get that one. Only 200. Yeah, that's... So we've talked about that before on here, and you can drape everything in orange, but you won't be one of us till you get some clogs. Thanks, Psycho. Yes, I know I'm not a Dutchman, but I do appreciate the reminder. Orange is the national colour of the Dutch. Yes, it is. Like white for the French. Oof! Ouch! That came out of my mouth before I realised I was saying it. Damn, dude. Yes, my good friend Machine. Only 200. I don't store stuff. My house is not for storage. My house is for things that I like and I use. So if things sit around too long unused and unplayed, without a damn good reason, then I'll sell them and move them on. So that's why my military orders went. That's why various armies, my OSS just went, my LF, I sold those. Because I was not going to get around to painting them. There was not a world in which that was going to happen. So, stop selling armies. If I sold every force I didn't use for a few months, I'd have no minis. Well, I'm not talking about for a few months. So a lot of my miniatures see the tabletop for intro games. So like tomorrow, Wednesday, can't remember. One of the other, I've got a lovely young chap coming round for his second game. So game 2 of the intro series to playing Infinity. I'm going to field my Tunguska, who I do play, who I do field, I do take them out. And I'm going to field my Invincible Army. And that is really pretty much the only time that the Invincible Army will see use this year is for intro games. I think I've got about 50 miniatures in that collection. I'm going to use 6 of them. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Invincible Army is so cool, just play it. If you like it so much, I will give you a good deal, my friend. Mike Pierce, yes, this is correct. Sometimes look at modern society and think how bureaucracy and fear suppressed industrialization in China for 1,000 years. Yeah, I don't see AI on the same standard as that in any way, shape or form. This isn't about suppressing it. This is about only using the stuff that's useful. I am happy to see it folding proteins. I'm happy to see it taking over processes and simplifying and organizing and structuring things. There's a difference. There's no pile of shame, there is just future projects. Yes, there is a pile of potential. That is where we are, Gene Dean. Wait, we don't measure in thousands. I avoid measuring in thousands, Blissful Badger. I will not do that. That's not one of the options. I didn't get... let me go back. Pile of shame, the proper... No, I guess I didn't see the first one, but I can't see it now. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Rookie numbers. No, trying to keep myself sane numbers in gear. I was added close to 200 minis to my collection on Saturday. See, Blissful Badger, that's a bit crazy. That a bit crazy right there. And this is why I avoid GW and stuff like that. Although, having said that, I was looking at some of the projects that are coming up at the start of this year, and it's just, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot incoming. I'm totally ready for it. The great thing about miniatures is that they keep their form well. I have some 30-year. Yeah, no, absolutely. I've got one classic GW miniature in the other room, and it's from the early 90s, I think. It's very, very cool, and I love it greatly. Hold on to it for a bit then. Dude, it's going to get sold really. When I list it and put it up for a sensible price, you know, dude, if you're not ready, you're not ready. That's what I'm saying. Your miniatures will probably outlast you. Do you feel the existential dread of the other ticking clock yet? Time's winged chariot hurrying near. Always, always. Tempest fugit. You know, that's time flies. That's the point. That's the great thing about this life. I'm going to get really, we're going down a rabbit hole here, and I'm just going to just pull myself out of that one. Yes, I do, and it's great, and I love it. Oh, there were more Infinity Minis than GW miniatures. Dear Lord, Blissful Patcher. That is some going. The only miniatures that didn't last well was GW Smog because they were huge wings in resin. Yeah. Same issue as the original. Oh, that's going to annoy me. Wait. Don't you hate it when you can't? There's no point in me asking you guys what it is, because by the time the lag has gone past. Cascuda, the original Cascuda and its plastic wings. Also something that didn't survive well. Much as it was great. Just working my way through 160 miniatures for my late war pro. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I play too many systems and I have too much to do. Like, it's why I'm absolutely adoring Eldfall, because the starter box is 4 miniatures and that is a sensible force. In fact, I think in the next couple of weeks, I'm getting a second Soga starter box for Eldfall. This is happy. Love it. Don't get into the kit bashing games. So many kits. I have that G&D now. I have that with Bolt Action. Very much so. This is the way. Instructions unclear. Accidentally brought 10 more Frostgrove sets. We've all been there. Errors, just mistakes were made. No one knows how it happened. And damn it. Oh, there we go again. So I probably have 500 miniatures for Middle-earth alone and 200 for Empire alone. I am so glad that I have left that behind. Yeah, there was well over 100 miniatures in my Blood Angel army when I had that. And that was, no. I don't have time. And the mental capacity either. It's just... I downsized before I moved, and that was 5 years ago. At that point, I moved over 5,000 minis. Psycho, got to head off again. Early rise tomorrow for some sadists to stick sharp metal objects in my gums and then complain that they bleed. Yeah, they do that. Attanned archers need low command. Success. I hope it goes well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the bits and stuff. I appreciate it. You're a legend. I genuinely appreciate that. You're a superstar. Thank you. Take care. I will see you soon. And we'll clog talk. Hopefully the gaming nights tomorrow and day after we'll hear. Larkbeard. 5,000 minis, so almost a complete goblin army. Close. Nearly. At that point, yeah, Cultist 3 is the devil. Yes. Or one epic force don't. So when I was young, the world was full of promise and hope. I had an epic army that covered my bedroom floor. I had 4 or 6 Warhounds. I think I had 8 Reavers. I can't remember how many Warlord Titans I had. And I had an Imperator, because that was the thing then. I had Knights, various flavours of Knights. And then I had the rest. And yeah, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of miniatures. All Blood Angels, all painted. 100% painted. It was the one of the last armies that I had that was fully painted. Back in the day. It was amazing. And I sold it all to a friend of mine for like 100 quid. in the early 90s. Dumbass. That I should have kept. But I remember taking it to his in like 2 bin liners full. Like, there you go. Because you're a kid and you don't know how to store stuff. But he was happy, so it was fine. I realised I'm a hoarder of minis. I have only given one sprue a Skaven away in 20 years. Jane Dean. My goodness me. Shocking behaviour. I've sold one of the miniatures that I'm getting in the new Soga starter set that hasn't arrived yet already. It's already got a new home. It was an entire transit. Jesus, man. I mean, if you're going to do it, do it. But damn, a transit full of miniatures, that is man. You don't need your sprue. Uter, I'm not going to advise that anyone eats their sprues, but if you do, the world needs videos. This is something that we all need to see. If you're sustaining yourself on plastic from I mean, fair play. Not that we encourage such things, but dear Lord. I got about 150 plus 40k Chaos minis on my desk right now. None of them were intentionally bought. I slipped and they fell into the basket. Many I inherited from somewhere in starter sets on board games. Hope we paint them all this year. 150 miniatures in a year. I mean, that's just over 10 a month. I guess it's possible. Suspect Halo, hey there Dice Gods, first time catching a stream. Thanks for showing Eldfall Chronicles. Just bought a 2-player starter set and going to learn to play. Game looks super fun. Well, Suspect Halo, thank you, welcome, thank you for joining. Fun fact, tomorrow there will be the first in our Learn to Play Eldfall Chronicles videos. Yay! So if you are just getting involved, there will be a series made just for you. Personally, that's why I made it, just for you. Which of the 2-player starter sets did you get? There, people need to know. Ingear, you also are a hoarder of miniatures. This is terrible. I'm so... yeah, right, hang on. Euroblob, you're actually present. Good to see you, buddy. Hello, hello, hello. Flurry of blowed an old lady. She was a witch. Tried eating a kid. Your D&D sessions are as wild as you are, my friend. And I'd love to say I was surprised, but I'm completely not. Perfect timing. Yes. Empire of Soga. An individual with class and taste. I fully approve of this life choice. This is definitely the way forward. See, at the moment we're working our way through the Soga starter set. So the Bowman is up. He's done. And the Kitsune, she's done. She's all sorted. Come on, you can focus better than that. There we go. So she's done. And now we're on to the Governor. He's getting sorted. He's got some of his sort of blocking in today. And then we have the Onataoshi. Now, if you have not, you obviously haven't played the Onataoshi yet. She's a beast. That's why I've got a second starter set coming, because I'm having another Onataoshi and another Bushi attendant, because I need another one. Because I do, just go with it. And we got images of the new miniatures as well. They're coming for Soga in February, I want to say. They're on the way. So really good time as well to get into Soga. I'm about to get some really sweet toys. Those look really good. Love the green and blue. Thank you very much. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to try something different. I wanted to go for a cold feel. I've got some terrain that I want to use that's got like snowy type feel. It's kind of got a Viking village feel to it. So I wanted to take my Soga and make him kind of fully winterized, but then having them bright red was like, I want to go colder and make it all chilly willy. So it's good. So everyone else saw a Plague Doctor, Ip Man, and Chain Punching an Older. I play a skeleton monk in a Plague Doctor outfit. Of course you do, Euroblob. I would love to say that in any way, shape or form, I am surprised that you say that you play a skeleton monk in a Plague Doctor outfit. It's perfectly normal behaviour from yourself. We're very happy. But yeah, so Suspect Halo, it's yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming for Eldfall, and we have, I can talk about this now. On Thursday afternoon, I am going to be sitting down with a lovely young chap who, if you're on the Discord, which you should be, the Discord for Eldfall, it's called Maru, and Maru is the CEO of Free Company. It's one of the founder members, one of the designers, like all the lore and the background and stuff like that came from his mind. I've got a wonderful interview planned with him, and we're going to sit down and we're going to chat lots of Eldfall goodies and stuff like that. So it's going to be a beefy video, I think, but it should be good. Yeah, I was going to do, so it would make sense to go blue fire on the Kitsune. I thought about it, but what I wanted to do is have something with a bit of contrast. I wanted to make it a little bit more wild. I wanted to make it feel a little bit more chaotic. So going with the yellowy green on blue worked. There's enough of a break for it not to clash too heavily with the blue and just to give it a little bit of life and a little bit of... So, I mean, I've got to be honest, my Kitsune rarely sees the tabletop. She's great, she has one specific role, but I very much prefer to take... If you give me the option to take her or another on a Taushi, I'm taking on a Taushi, because... so... Yeah, I have my moments of being smart. It doesn't happen very often, but it does occur once in a while. Don't get used to it, for God's sake. It doesn't happen that often. But when the expansion box for Soga comes out, we'll be doing hopefully we're doing an unboxing of that, we'll be doing a review of that box, and then we will do the faction focus for Soga, where we talk about all of the stuff you need to know, all of the units that are inside the faction, and some list writing stuff as well. Some sample lists and stuff like that, to give you an idea of ways to play them. So, sorry, I've got a dog that's asleep at the back of the room. Yeah, you, stop it. He's chasing rabbits in his sleep, so I've just got woof, 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 but that's going to turn into bark, bark, bark in a minute, so he just needed a bit of waking up. I'm in a group with a very French gunslinger, a fire Gensai bladesinger wizard, whose only humour is dad humour. Nothing wrong with dad humour. Loxodon, elephant people, soul knife rogue, has psychic powers, and an Owlin warlock sorcerer multiclass who grew up in the Feywild and act like it. I'm by the others considered normal and boring. It sounds like it. I don't D&D. I don't D&D. I don't RPG, TTRPG. I think it's supposed to be called these days, isn't it? I don't do that. I did do it when I was younger for a little bit, but we mostly played Top Secret SI, which was cool, and some other bits. But if I was going to D&D or Lancer, then I'd need to DM. I have enough going on. I'm too much of a control freak. We played a little bit. AWOL Trooper. You can always tell a 5th edition player because they can't wait to tell you about their 5th edition game. Blob, I think you just got called out there, mate. And I don't think he's wrong. Yeah, but I'm too much of a control freak to not let somebody else DM. We did one... Oh! Suspect Halo, thank you very much. Thank you for becoming a priest on YouTube. That's incredibly kind. Thank you so much, buddy. Go to the... that's incredibly kind. Thank you. Go to the channel, and on the channel you will find under the posts a link to the Discord, which is only available to members. So come join there and join in the insanity. Please do. He is correct. Yes, he is correct. A bard that gets more and more dad jokes as he builds up the horde of illegitimate offspring he brings into the world. Good God. I mean, I get it. It's, yeah, I don't have the time. And the thing about RPGs is how many people just play D&D and only D&D. That's something I've noticed as well, Hute. It's one of those things. It's like GW, it's like 40k. There's a lot of tabletop. I saw, God, who was it the other day? I saw a big YouTuber who is in the wargame sphere. It's going to annoy me. I remember it, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up and scream some random YouTuber's name. Anyway, I was watching their channel and they were like, do you know, there are systems out there other than 40k. And I don't mean Age of Sigmar. And I was like, are you being funny? I don't think you're being funny. Some people don't even realise there's a world beyond GW product. And it seems to be the same with D&D. I guess it's the ubiquity. You can get D&D. There are so many people that D&D. I think you just joined, Suspect Halo, I think you just joined on Discord, so welcome. Hello. When I first got into RPGs, I tried out many different ones until I stuck with GURPS. I don't know what GURPS is. I assume other people do. I'm too dumb. What's GURPS? Nice to meet you too, I assume, Suspect Halo. There's something similar with wargaming. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, agreed. How? Right, Larkbeard, I don't TTRPG. How would I know what GURPS is? How? How would I GURPS? I don't know what GURPS is. Welcome to the gang indeed. Or in fact the congregation, technically. The congregation of the Dice Gods. Although possibly the Clog Mafia. Or only dice. Might be because both D&D and 40k are both unnecessarily complicated and bloated. And they expect the same heavy hump when they first learn other games, but not realizing that. It's just these games. I think it's because there's so many people out there that play these systems that it is easy to... It's kind of the thing that you do because so many people do it. It's so ubiquitous. I do want to play other systems, but I'm not a lot of those groups interested, but I'm waiting for those ones. Yeah, I can see that. You have to make the change, but people don't necessarily want to. Kaz, you will be waiting for the news tomorrow. I expect you to be the first one to watch and the first one to comment, and if you don't, my dude, I'm going west at head height. So that's going to be. Clog Squad represent. Okay, there's so many beautiful systems out there, and GURPS. I don't know what GURPS is. It's like OPR. I don't know what OPR is. General systems, you plug in the flavor setting you want to use. Okay, so it's a generic platform that... Gotcha. It's a generic platform that you just convert. I get you. That makes sense. Ubiquity is key when getting kids hooked on one's IP. It really is. If you are de facto, it's like people calling wargaming Warhammer. Oh, do you play Warhammer? No. But you've got miniatures and dice. It's not the same thing. But then it's the same as people calling the Netherlands Holland. Keep that in my mouth. Anyway, not the same thing. How often does your group meet and how stable is it? My suggestion would be to try and get a one-shot in from time to time. Ooh, that's possibly wise. Definitely. It can be hard, Suspect Halo, to get people. It's one thing that I do. It's kind of my whole thing of charging into a local meta and being like, right, you lot play this. It's f***ing great. So, but you just have to be just arrogant enough to do it. just arrogant enough to believe that you can. I got 4 weekly games and one which is every other week. One of those games is Pathfinder, another is Lancer. So, sorry, to clarify, you're in 5 games, Blob. My good God, Blob. I know around here it's just 40k, and to play anything else is about an hour drive. Oddly, TTRPGs are very diverse around here. It's weird, isn't it? It is very strange. Generic universal roleplay system. Oh, GURPS. Gotcha. Thank you, Neil. I didn't want to get further into GURPS because I can be a bit zealous, and you already mentioned your lack of interest. Dude, you are amongst friends. If you want to evangelize about GURPS and say how cool it is, do tell the world, because I don't know and I'm always interested. Warhammer is the gateway drug. Yeah. Do you even Warhammer? How many Warhams have you got? It is a gateway drug, and yeah, but there's better ones. That's not a chatter, that's Neil. GURPS is a universal system you can use for a broad range of settings and campaigns, which is cool. 90s kids' gateway drug was Hero Quest. Space Crusade, I would argue. GURPS Spider likes 1999. Fair play, love. It's complicated, yes, but everything flows into each other logically. So even though it's complicated, once you've read it, it's very easy to understand because if it's got internal logical consistency, that helps. That's why Infinity works, because for the most part it has internal logical consistency, and then occasionally it just completely poops the bed. That's a different matter entirely. Think that's why we bond, mate. I'm exactly the same with my club meta. You know it, buddy. I play D&D Monday evenings, Pathfinder Thursday evenings, I DM D&D Friday evenings, I attend a streamed Modern Fantasy D&D every Saturday. Dear Lord, man. And I volunteer at Youth Club to run along every other Saturday. My dude, why are you streaming games and you're not streaming D&D stuff? Just news and information. There's a whole thing around it. We never got Space Crusade here, but we did get Hero Quest, Talisman, and the Dark World. Oh god, it's practically the third. Poor you, Lartbeard. You missed out on the best thing. Those Chaos Dreadnoughts were amazing. Space Crusade, especially when they broke and the little clips came off. It was magical. Oh yeah, Space Crusade for the win. Many, many, many happy memories with it. I know. Every time somebody's got one up for sale, I'm like, no. Because I know it will nowhere near be as cool as I remember. Because I remember it being amazing. And I know now that as an adult, I'll be like, where's the good stuff? I'm using GURPS currently for a campaign based on the SG-1 franchise. Bravo. 90s TV levels of lethality in combat. You didn't mean to, also, but you tickled my pickle there, and you didn't even mean to. Rather running different time periods, so it's a perfect fit. That is awesome. See, that's the kind of thing. If I was going to get involved with, I would. Basically, all the games were running before I started streaming. Yes, but you can still talk about like the concepts and the teach people to RPG. Just. If you're that heavily involved, you have views, you have experience, you have knowledge. Tell the world. Anyway, there's an official Stargate RPG, but it looks cringe. Yeah, it's often the way. Give it in your headspace, mate. Rampant sounds like modern GURPS. So, what I would love, and the thing that one day will be my complete undoing, be another of the 100k D&D YouTube channels. No. Be the €1 blob channel. There are so many other wargaming channels that do stuff. You don't have to be unique. You don't have to be completely unique. You just have to do it your way. And there's people that do Infinity stuff and Warcry stuff and talking video cameras like I do stuff, and probably do it better. But you guys are all here and you hang out with me, so clearly, there is a Hydra spaced gap. So there's a Euroblob space gap. I'd watch it. I'd watch the hell out of it. Just don't do it on Monday because I'm busy on Mondays. Thursday afternoons are a bit iffy. Don't do it then either. But yeah. No, I'd rather be a blob. Fair enough. Sometimes it's as good as one remembers Hydra. In gear, what if it's not? What if Space Crusade, when you play it in the modern era, is just rubbish? Or just meh? I mean, I don't think my inner child could take it. Oh, Gene, you're off. Back to work. Have fun, my friend. It was good to see you. Thank you for hanging out. It's always a pleasure to have you here, bud. You're a blob. The blob, the legend. GURPS is a 3d6 system, so it's very predictable in your rolls. Also means that you can play a lot with modifiers, which you might count as another similarity to Infinity. Yeah, cool. Just do it your way. That's the way forward. You don't have to be. There's no new ideas under the sun. God, I write fiction so much. Everyone's done it. Everyone's done it. But I haven't tried the Infinity RPG yet, though. Yeah, it's supposed to be okay. It's not supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to be alright. So unlike Hydra, I have a face for ready. Oh, darling. I've listened to you on stream, thank you very much, and you have a very, very listenable voice. So, and you just do the thing. Oh my God, I've got a sheep nailed to my head at the moment. I was supposed to get my hair cut this week, and then we got snowed in, so that just wasn't one of the options. So I'm getting it done this week, and then I can have a shave, and I'll stop looking like I live under a bridge, which would be amazing. And so somebody put on one of my videos the other day, why is no one talking about his hair? He has amazing hair. And I was like, can't tell if sarcasm or not. But I assumed it was genuine, and I was like, thanks. I wrote my own table war game myself, only to find that my ideas have existed in similar forms in other games. That's always the way. There's nothing new under the sun. We live in an era where everything has been produced, packaged, had a logo slapped on it and chucked out to the masses long ago. So do your own thing. Do it. Don't be, just do your own thing. Be happy. Enjoy what you create. It's the way forward. Indeed I did. That's the joy of being raised a Catholic. Best you can do is look around, take the best parts and learn from other people's approaches. Absolutely true. And make it your own. Put something of yourself into it, which is the worst bit. That is the worst bit. By far, like the stuff doing on here. This is a projection of me. And so when people are like mean about me, I don't care because this is also a projection of me. But some people do, and then it can get bad. So just make sure that you're fine with it. Get yourself a sweet advertising deal for men's hair products made. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it hits super glue fumes. Who knows? It's about execution more than originality. All game and entertainment is iterative. True, true, true. Hydra's hair reminds me of Sean Connery in Highlander a bit. There can be only one. I can't do Scottish. All art, not just entertainment. True, true, true. I can live with that. I can live with the Sean Connery reference. There's worse people to be compared to. It could be like, he looks like Elon Musk. Maybe it's Gorilla Glue. Absolutely. Just the fumes. That's where the slightly white tinge comes from. It's purely just the sort of effect of the good stuff. Zipping through. If you haven't already, a quick reminder, because I'm going to be off in a minute, because I've got so much to do tomorrow. It's untrue. If you are on YouTube and you haven't done already, please do go onto Twitch and follow on there and all that sort of stuff, because I'm trying to build that up. And the more that builds up, the more I get to like stream on a Thursday and that works. So please do give me a follow over on Twitch if you haven't done already. And if you do have a Prime subscription and you could become a subscriber on Twitch too, that won't cost you a bean, and I will feel validated as a human being. So that'll be just nice all the way around. There's so much I was going to talk about today, and I just haven't because you lot have just been talking. Unbelievable. Absolutely terrible. I was going to talk about Drop Fleet. I was going to talk about Ruby Monday, and I was going to talk about that, but I'm not going to talk about that now. We're going to hold on to that one for the time being. We'll do it later. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So yeah. What do we have coming up? Well, there was a really nice, really like positive buzz around the video I did last week about Pano Beyond Sandtrap, diving on Beyond Sandtrap. That worked. That was really nice. Sometimes you produce some stuff sometimes and it's like screaming into the void and you're like, well, that just didn't seem to do anything. And other times you put something out there and it just goes. This one took off really nicely and it was really good to see. Got some really like people saying, thank God I've just got into this and I didn't know where to go and now I do and it's really great. And that's kind of the response that you want. So I think this week on Friday, the video will be the Shinden Butai version of that. So if you have Shinden, just getting into Inside of Infinity, that's going to come there. We have the first video for Eldfall tomorrow. That's already ready to launch. So that's exciting. Then we have the second part of the lore for my Shock Army. That's going to be coming soon too. I think I'm going to try and get that done this week because I kind of want that out into the world. Because otherwise I keep editing it and it just doesn't help anyone. Because there's a name, a crucial name that's already changed since I did the first video. So, there's that. So I need to record it so I stop screwing with it. Then we're going to do more, so like the second video is an introduction to the profiles for Eldfall, the cards, because they're freaking cool. I love the cards. But we're going to walk through which one of those and what they do. So that'll be next week. And then I think it's going to be our first faction focus for Infinity this month. I'm hoping at the start of February we should have some Flames of War stuff, because that went great guns. The review that I did the other day of the Blitzkrieg book, which is the early war stuff for Flames of War, if you like your Second World War, 5mm, whatever it is, 15mm, 5mm, isn't it? Then we've got that coming too. where I'm going to completely ruin my reputation because I'm thinking I'm going to play French. Not sure how I feel about that. Anywho, so we may have that. We've got that coming up. And then another faction focus this month. I've got 2 faction focuses this month for Infinity. So those are exciting. And some other cool stuff. I'm hoping there's going to be some shorts kicking around too, and some new TikTok stuff. Because I've been using Infinity the TikTok for a long time, and it just I don't feel happy about it because I want to do stuff that isn't TikTok, that isn't Infinity. So I was waiting for that. Ute, I'm not disappointed. You were there, dropped it in. I appreciate that. No. Inge, it was a pleasure as ever, my friend. Take care, stay safe. I'll see you next week. No, do you know, one of my friends actually talked about doing it, and he had the starts of a 3D model for me. And I said, please don't do that. Just all jokes aside, I have a real issue with how I look for various reasons that we're not going into tonight because it's all very sad. But the idea of a miniature of me really, I don't like it. It feels yuck. So much as I appreciate the intent, Blob, it's not a ugh. And the same as HVT. Appreciate it. Love you, buddy. But it's, yeah, one of those things. Personal hang up, but I appreciate your understanding on that one. But yes, the French look interesting. They look quite cool, and the Char B1 and the B1 Bis I'm going to play because they're cool and I like the background. Oh! Masker, hi, I got sent here by a friend and finally caught you live. Wanted to say hi. Hello, Masker. Which friend did you get sent here by? Who do I have to hold responsible? Who do you blame for being exposed to this? I'm so sorry, whoever it was. They clearly have, incredible taste. Clearly, but, you know. Oh, he does indeed, he does indeed. The man, the legend. So does that mean that you were also Netherlands-based? I assume so. He's an IRL friend of mine. He's also an IRL friend of mine too. Yes, he lives 20 minutes from me. So if he lives 20 minutes from me, are you east or west of him? Because you may be like 5 minutes from me, depending on where you are. Yeah, you are 20 minutes from me. I'm Osterhout. So I'm just down Tit Road. Close by. It's all very strange. It's very weird. I've met quite a few people from online in real life. It's very strange. You never would have done them if it hadn't been for this. It totally makes it awesome. What do you play, Masker? What do you currently play? No doxing. No, we're not doxing anyone. We're not doxing me. How is the Netherlands Infinity scene? The Netherlands Infinity scene was okay. Where are you? Ito, which part of Germany are you in? So it was when I got here it was okay. No. It was okay, but my whole thing for the past 13 years has been creating communities. So we now have, I think, 30 active players in our meta. I think, maybe more. A lot. We have plenty, and they're all active and they're all really engaged and like totally on board. I think we have I'm trying out a narrative campaign starting in February. I think it should start around there, and I think we're going to end up with 18 players in that, which is kind of small. That's kind of small. Our average tournament at the moment is about 22 players. So that's just our local tournaments. He's going to say it's better now. Of course it's better now. I play Mali and I'm getting into 40k. That being said, I used to play on the MTG Pro Tour and I do a bunch of board gaming D&D. Cool. Outstanding. Mali is a lot of fun, although I stepped away with the new edition for the time being because I don't have the brain space to get a new edition. I'll wait for stuff to settle down and then I'll see whether I come back to that. Maybe, maybe not. It's Mali alongside Infinity is a bit heavy, I found. But yes, Neil, it is better now because I have lots of friends, so it's clearly better. I'm still not used to not playing second edition. That's the problem, isn't it? I have that with Infinity. Although with me it's N3. We're now on N5, and I'm just kind of like, so do we? I don't think we get... No, I don't know. I'm kind of lost. But what you really need to do is you really need to come and join Infinity. That's the thing you should do, because there's so many players, including a little bit of local stuff for a minute, guys. Please bear with me. Including... Yes, he does. He's right. Mushy is absolutely right. And the great thing is, there are the Tilburg Hanalches, who are a group of Infinity players who are all based in Tilburg. So, just saying. And they are some of the finest human beings you could ever want to associate with. So I'd highly recommend that as a life choice. We have the biggest event in Australia coming up. Last I checked, 64 players signed up for Infinity. That is freaking awesome, Frosty. This is the way forward. You know, the thing is, you look at like 40k and like, oh, you know, got 500 players and all that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's the biggest system. It's ubiquitous. When you start getting 60, 70 players for a system, it's great. You know, I think that's really, really good. I think it's a healthy, positive size and all the rest of it. In May, we have our 50-player satellite that we're going to do locally. You live near Essen. Oh, well, yeah. Absolutely. I was supposed to be going there last year with Spale, but I didn't make it because it just didn't work out that way. But yeah, a couple of hours down the road. You are in striking distance of coming to one of our tournaments. Just saying. Something you should absolutely do. Some Infinity maps I'm currently working on. Yes, you are indeed. You're working on TTS ones, aren't you? Are you having a hard time getting into anything? The only reason I'm looking at 40k is because my youngest is interested. Why are you having a hard time? Just finding a community or what? Tell me your problems and I will tell you my solutions. But no, you should absolutely keep an eye out. In May, we have a 2-day 50-player 5-round satellite tournament. So if you win that, free entry into the Interplanetario in Spain. So definitely think you should do. And it's going to be epic. Yeah. It's going to be very, very violent. He says that knowing that he's chosen the missions and what's going to happen. It's going to be great. But yeah, if you're that close. But no, it's good to see, you know, like with Infinity. I mean, to be fair, 8-9 years ago, I was running 50-man events in the UK. So it was there then. But I have my own cybersecurity company, 2 kids, a wife, a house, a dog. I play music since I was 6 and I'm now 41. Basically, I need a 48 to 72 hour days. Dude, I feel you. 2 kids, 2 dogs. I'm a writer, YouTuber, and freelance copywriter. I used to work in... Anyway, different matter entirely. So I can completely relate. I don't play the guitar, but I have YouTube instead, which, you know, similar sort of thing. And I'm 45. In fact, this time next month, I'll be 46. That hurts in all sorts of unpleasant ways. Anywho, so I completely can relate to you. But what I would say with Infinity is you have a hump at the start where you have to learn the system. But there are so many players, especially around where you are, who have their own tables. You can just pick, go, a couple of hours later, well, 2.5 hours later, come home, game played. Just saying. I'm mildly curious, but I'm just a casual player with some friends. Infinity is unfortunately just an off game to my group. I see. Well, I would say that much as it's going to be hardcore from the perspective of 5 games over 2 days. It's going to be fun. The aim of... Okay, so our satellite is called Hope's End, which doesn't make it sound like it's going to be like a fun, fluffy thing, but it's going to be a fun, fluffy thing. There's a reason it's called Hope's End. It's a different story for another time. But yeah. But either way, if you want to come for casual stuff, you are more than welcome to come play. Happy early birthday. Thank you very much. I'm dreading it. That's where we are. We've got to that age where this year my sister turns 50 and I'm like, oh God. Do. You'd be more than welcome. I've known Mishy for close to a decade, and we had the hardest time to set up a let's grab a coffee date that I made him just come to my house during the week, and I took half the day off for it. Ouch. But yeah, I'll probably end up joining in Infinity because he'll drive me screaming and kicking. So, yes. Well, the first games, so I'm talking to him at the moment about him upskilling to learn to demo the system. So, yeah, you come to mine, you turn up, we throw dice, you go home. Like, everything is here. Table, miniatures, everything you need. It's nice and simple. Tariff just went, oof, getting harder and harder to manufacture in China. Yeah, everything is getting more expensive if you want to do it internationally. Don't read the news. Yeah, don't read the news. It's just depressing. But, Masket, tell our mutual friend to connect us up in IRL, and we'll see if we can get you to try the system, and then you know. So, literally from the last half hour. God, okay. I'm not going to look at that now, Larbeard. I'm going to look at that in a minute. But, folks, for now, I'm going to make a run for it. I'm going to go. I will be back on... Hang on. So, Sumano, Mali, and 40k, and have close to 2 decades in play Magic at a high level, and explain Infinity to me in a few sentences. Ooh. Right. Excuse me, guys. Just 1 second. Clear the boards. So, Infinity. What to say about Infinity in a very short period of time. Infinity is a skirmish level war game set in a cyberpunk sci-fi aesthetic. Okay, so what that means is you're normally running around 15 miniatures in total. That's what you're going to run in your group. Now, it's based on a kind of Black Ops clandestine operation type things. This isn't huge wars. This isn't huge battles. This is spies doing spy stuff behind the scenes. This is assassinations. This is stealing the technology and running away from it. It's kind of high octane spy stuff, which is what I really, really enjoy about it. But play-wise, what you've got inside of Infinity is an incredibly cinematic, incredibly deep system that will, when you first come to it, feel a little bit daunting, because most of the time when you play stuff like 40k or even Malifaux, you come to the table and you have a number of choices. You can do this, 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 this. You come to the table with Infinity, you say, what can I do? And the game goes, yes, which is incredibly daunting to start off with. But in actual real world sense, when you're having your turn, your opponent can respond to it in real time. So there is a lot of high drama, because you can be shot, you can be hacked, you can be stabbed while you're having your turn, and you can lose more miniatures in your turn than in their turn. It's just one of the things with the system. I find Infinity incredibly addictive. I find it's a system that I have got completely hooked on, because nothing else gives me the buzz. You work hard with the system and you achieve a lot, and it's a lot of fun. Mission based, it does tournament, it can do casual, it can do narrative, but mostly you're going to get a really crunchy, fun, engaging experience that has 30 odd different sectorial armies in it, lots of different flavours still, even now, even though there's less than there was, and some beautiful miniatures. So if you like lovely miniatures, cinematic experiences, and something that will reward your time, Infinity's it. It's not strictly turn-based. It is strictly turn-based, but when your opponent is active, you're reactive, so you can respond to what they're doing. Which is what I normally zone out on with some games of Malifaux, that turns that drag on and on. Yeah, no, you don't get that with this. It's one of those great things where I love Infinity because your troopers are trained and they're experts at what they do. So if they got shot at, they're going to respond to that. And they have a good chance of doing the violence back, or getting the hell out of the way, or whatever you want to do. It's really awesome. Hang on a sec. Suspect, hello. Have a great day. Lovely to see you. Lovely to meet you. And thank you for joining. And I will see you on... have a great... Oh, dear Lord. I will see you on Discord. When you explain Infinity in short, using the video game XCOM might also be a good comparison because of the Overwatch system. I agree, but I've also run face first into, no, I've never played that. Right. And that just slows everything down. I can hear that you've explained the game quite a few times before. Thank you. I have. I think as of this point, I am now over 200 people that I've taught to play Infinity in person. which is just bonkers numbers, to be honest with you. But yeah, I've done it, and I've done it at shows, trade shows and stuff like that, done demos there and all this kind of thing. So we've done it a bit. Oh, you play Titania, you soulless individual. Right, everyone will, exactly, or is in zone of control. Yes, he does that. He does whoop your ass in your turn, given the opportunity, Blob. Machine will do that. Thanks, Blob. I never claimed to have a soul. Then you're in the right place. I'd like to introduce you to the combined army. You'll fit in really well there. Frosty, take care, buddy. I will see you soon. Thank you for joining. Always a pleasure to have you here. Have a great rest of the day. Don't work too hard. But yes, get our mutual friend to hook us up. For now, I am going to make a run for it, because otherwise I'll be here for hours. I'll poke machine, see if I can come join for an intro, if it all lines up. Let us know when you can, and we'll make it line up. Let me introduce you to the more aggressive force. Math, Angry Monkeys, and actually Mushy has those, so you can try them. Gentlemen, ladies, blobs of all shapes and sizes, you have been joyous. It has been a genuine pleasure, and I have enjoyed being here. New video tomorrow night. Thursday, live stream. Friday, another new video. Back here on Monday with more stuff. In fact, you may get 2 videos tomorrow, because you might even get the new Infinity releases and the new Warcrow releases in a video form too. Who knows? We shall have to see. But for now, thank you all for joining me. It has been great. Thank you for all those who super chatted and joined and followed and subscribed and did all that sort of stuff. That helps immensely. If you haven't done that on Twitch, please do. Especially if you have Prime membership, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. That's great. Thank you all for joining. I will see you all again soon. It's been emotional. You've been magnificent, frankly. I'm in awe of your greatness. You have a great rest of the week, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.